Everyone, and welcome to Stampin' Chat Live. I am Gina from Gina K Designs, and it's great to see all of you coming in from all around the world. It is eclipse season, but it's over, and we all survived. Worst, what was it, Tom? Worst apocalypse ever. People were saying it was the end, Armageddon, I don't know. But we made it through, and it was pretty spectacular. Although Tom and I didn't get a chance to see it, I was able to watch it a little bit on YouTube, and I hope a lot of you got to see it. If not, I think we could all do a road trip. Not a road trip, but a trip to Iceland, because I think it's coming to Iceland, and Greenland too, soon, like in a few years. So I think we should plan that. That'll be maybe a stamp away in Iceland. But anyway, I know some of you had a little bit of cloud cover and you couldn't see it, but for those of you who did, what an exciting thing. Well, tonight we're going to have some fun because we're going to be making an elegant card, and we're going to be using the new Ornate Spring stamp set. This is a really neat silhouette stamp set that comes in the new kit. So if you got this kit and it's on its way to you, you're going to be able to make this card. If not, you could find a suitable substitute in your collection to make one as well. But before we get started, let's say hello to Tom. Hey, Tom.
Hey, everybody. Happy for all the, let's see, this is time, the crafter dinner crowd.
The crafter dinner crowd.
Right? Thursday night? Or
gotta get
Tuesday
another
night.
Trademark.
It's Tuesday night. The crafter dinner crowd.
Crafter dinner crowd. Oh, I love that. I love that. That's so cute.
Goes with our crafternoon.
It is good to see you.
It's good to be here. Yeah, I enjoyed the buzz with the eclipse and the fun that goes with that. A lot of people we know, well, a few people we know followed it, kind of went out into the abyss.
Yeah.
And would have been neat, but we were otherwise occupied.
We were. But it's great to be back in the studio, right?
It is, yeah.
And we are so glad that you are all joining us. Well, maybe Tom will be back later with a word of the day. Who knows? Maybe?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, well, let's get started then. So we are going to start with this stamp set right here. This is the Ornate Spring stamp set. Let me zoom out just a hair. There it is. Oh, that's too many hairs. Let me go in a little bit. And a lot of people have been asking me how to use this large image. So I'm going to be doing that tonight. And I am going to be doing some emboss resist. Now this is going to be more of a mono-chromatic card, and what I mean by that is we're going to stick with just one color for this card, but we can do a blend and a fade. So for example, I thought it would be good to use the carnations for this. The light and medium and dark carnation combination would be really nice, but if you don't have that and you want to use something else, the spruces would be great for this. The light lilacs, or the lilacs, would be great for this. The orchids, or you could do something like powder blue and blue denim, which are a great combination, and you can get a great fade using that. You can also use wild wisteria, and remember, you can get your lighter color with a light hand, and then your heavier color, your darker color, by using a heavier hand. So if you know, this is the color that you want to use, you can also just use this color, maybe add a little bit of a darker blue like blue denim, but you can get at least the light and the medium out of this. So, oh, thank you. You like my nails? You know, I don't do much to my nails except throw a clear coat over them. And I know so many of the other YouTubers have all the fancy nails. I was thinking about trying it. I might try it coming up, having some nails. But thank you. That's really sweet. I always try to throw a clear coat on before we go live, just not to scare you too much. Okay, so we're going to use the Misty for the first part of this technique. And yeah, I really like this stamp set too. I think it's really cool. And this is very much in the vein of the flowing florals or a holiday tapestry. And those sets, I have so many videos on those sets. So if you even look up holiday tapestry, any of the techniques and cards that I've made with that, you can also make with this. But it'll give you a little bit of a different look because this is a little bit more dense, this stamp. All right, so we're going to start by putting a piece of cardstock into the Misty. Now, I've cut this cardstock down to 4 1/4 inches by 5.5 inches. And you want to make sure that it is the full size of whatever card size you want to make. So if you're making a 5x7, then make your panel 5x7. I'm going to be making an A2 card, which is 4 1/4 by 5.5 when it's folded. And so that's how big my panel is. Okay, so I'm going to get a little bit of embossing magic, and I'm going to rub that all over the surface of this piece of cardstock. And I'm using the white layering weight cardstock. Now you can also do this with colored cardstock, and you can go with a darker, a darker blend over it if you want. But I really like doing these kind of monochromatic cards that are very elegant and soft on white cardstock. You can also do them on ivory, and that's pretty too. Okay, so I'm going to take this stamp out, and I'm going to place it so that it fills up most of this corner of the piece of cardstock. Kind of like that. Okay, like that. There we go. Now I'm going to close the lid and pick that up, and then I'm going to use some of the Gina K Designs Embossing and Watermark Ink. If you don't have this, you can also use white pigment ink, you can use Versamark, any kind of sticky ink or any ink that dries slowly. And then we're going to ink up this whole stamp. Now, obviously, there are going to be parts of it that are going to hang off the edge. So I do use the Misty mouse pad, which is basically the same as the pad that comes with the Misty. It's black on one side, and then it's got this kind of, it's like a mat, almost like a self-healing mat kind of feel to it. It's plastic, and so it's very easy to clean. So that's why if you don't have that, you can also use one of the pieces of the Misty paper that comes with your Misty, something like that, or a piece of copy paper, or don't even worry about it. Whatever works for you. But I'm going to ink this up really well, and I'm going to do these one side at a time. Okay. All right. There we go. So now this is in place. I want to make sure that it's in place nicely. And I'm going to just rub all over that. Make sure it makes good contact with the paper. I'm not pushing hard. I just want to make sure that it makes contact everywhere because it is a big stamp. Okay. Now I am going to get my white embossing powder. And again, if you don't have that, you can use clear because it's gonna still look white even if you use clear. Because you're doing it on white cardstock, right? Okay. So that looks pretty good. This is really an elegant stamp. I feel like this one is great for weddings. It's great for any kind of elegant card you want to make. But it will also be fabulous for Christmas cards. Any kind of holiday card you want to do with this, it's going to be beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to get my heat tool heating up over here off to my side. because I like it to be nice and hot. I get less warping this way. All right. Yeah, the mouse pad you can just wipe off with a wet paper towel, or you can even use stamp cleaner on it, which I do. So it's a good value. It's not very expensive. All right. And I'm using fine detail embossing powder. So it is going to look a little bit textured because I'm using it on a big chunky stamp. But that's okay. I like that because I actually like when the ink gets into those textured areas. If you use a regular embossing powder, it will heat up a little more flat than a fine detail powder, because a fine detail powder doesn't swell up. And the reason it doesn't swell up, you don't want it to swell up because you want to be able to maintain the details. So I'm going to see where I'm going here. Yeah, I think that'll be okay. All right, so now I'm going to do a second pass with this stamp, and I flipped it upside down. So I have that shiny part. You can see that shine up in the top corner. Now, if you're worried about it moving or not staying down, you can always put a little bit of tape on the back, or if you don't want to use... If you want to put like a sticky mat inside your MISTI, you can do that as well. But I never mind putting a little bit of tape on it. And we'd like to welcome everybody who's just joining us. We see people finishing up dinner, coming in. It's great to see you here on a Tuesday night. What did you call it, Tom? The Crafter Dinner Crowd?
The Crafter Dinner Crowd.
I love it.
Question from Michelle.
Yes, Michelle.
Would you please consider coming out with a rose gold ink pad?
A rose gold ink pad. You know, we were looking at doing some metallics, so that is a possibility. Yes, that's a possibility. Okay, so I'm doing the same thing on the other side here. And now I'm going to pull this up. And I'm going to put my embossing powder on the other side. Oh yes, great coverage, looking good. It's never a good idea to blow down onto your container of embossing powder. Ask me how I know, it just went everywhere. Alrighty, now we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to emboss that with the heat tool. So let me heat that up again. Oh, this is such a great design. I love it. You know what I have? Let me see here. What do I have? Do I have a little mess there? I'm trying to decide if it's something I need to brush off or if it's part of the design, but I think I'm going to just brush that away. Taking a very fine little paintbrush and I'm just brushing that excess powder away. Okay, now we're good to go. So again, I'm just using my heat tool here, and like I said before, this is fine detail powder, so the design is going to look like it's got a lot of little speckles and texture in there, and that's perfectly fine. I think we're good. We just want to make sure that it is completely embossed, all close to the edge. We don't want to leave anything unembossed. All right, well, let's put that aside. Now I'm going to get another piece of cardstock here. And let me take this one off. Now, when you're cleaning embossing ink off of these or pigment ink, I really recommend just getting an old toothbrush and getting a little bit of dish soap, taking it to the sink, and just scrubbing it really well. Because this is sticky, and your tidy towel or just a baby wipe or something isn't really going to get it off very well. So I do recommend doing that. Okay, now I want to use this butterfly. This butterfly is absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. Isn't that so pretty? I love that. So I'm going to just do the butterfly here. And I want to give myself room because I'm going to cut this butterfly out with the double-stitched rectangle die, which it fits really nicely in there. And I want to make sure that it's not too close to one side or too close to the other side. So before I make my commitment, I always like to just give it a little peek with the die and, you know, make sure that I've got enough room on either side.
Okay, a couple business plan questions.
Sure. Uh-oh.
So, are there any plans to release more of the layering ink sets? We
Yes,
could
there
use more colors.
Definitely are plans for that.
All right. And would you consider making alcohol inks to match your current line of inks?
You know, I don't think so. My friend Tim Holtz has a great line of alcohol inks, and I think that he's got just about every color under the sun, and you can find pretty close matches with his ink. Also, and I don't know if you've ever seen any of my videos on this, but I have some videos where I show you how to use Gina K Designs re-inkers with household rubbing alcohol and a cotton ball to create an alcohol type ink. So I'm probably not going to do that. So if you want just straight away alcohol ink, I would look at Tim's ink because it's fantastic. You can also look at your Copic marker re-inkers because they're alcohol inks as well. Or you can give that video a try. I'll see if I can find it and I will link it to this video. Or maybe I'll even show you that technique. I think I'll do that. You can type in to my channel alcohol inks and see if the video comes up, but I will plan a video on that in the near future because it's a pretty cool technique. Okay.
If you did come out with an alcohol line of inks, would you call them fruit salads?
Is that a question from somebody in the group? That's very cute.
That's from the Dead Space.
That's from the Dead Space. Okay. Okay, so I'm really inking up this butterfly really well. This is the first impression with this butterfly. Okay. And I'm going to stamp that. Give that some good pressure. And then I'm going to put some embossing powder on this. Okay, that butterfly is just about the prettiest butterfly I've ever seen in my life. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. All right, here we go. Would I do a collaboration with Tim Holtz? I'd do just about anything with Tim Holtz. He's amazing. He is amazing. Natasha's here. Hi, Natasha. I just saw somebody say hi to Natasha. Natasha makes amazing videos. I don't look up much, but every once in a while I catch something. I don't like look too. I look at the comments here and there, but you know, sometimes it's hit or miss what I see. Okay, so now I've got that butterfly done, and of course, I mean, you can see the shine there, but we're gonna. I know Tom's look, right? I did see that. He knows me by now. He knows you never know what's gonna come out of my mouth, honestly. Ooh, and then I'm going to do one more thing. I think I can do it here. Oh my goodness. Can I do it here? I think I can. Let's just see. I think I'm going to do the Hello Lovely. Now, let me tell you my plan here for this card. So before I get too far ahead of myself, I was thinking of, I could use with love. Let me use with love. So this is Master Layout 7 here, and this has some cute little circles in it. And I was thinking of stamping the greeting, right? And cutting it out with a circle, but then not using it as a circle, but rather a half circle, where the greeting would just stick out from below, like that. I think that would look really cool. So let's try that. So I'm going to take the With Love. You guys are funny. I mean anything crafty with Tim. Goodness. Goodness, goodness. Okay, so let me pull that up. We'll get this over here like that. And again, I'm going to emboss with white. Now, I don't know if I'm going to like this. I might change this one out to black. We'll see. Because I do like a little pop of black. So I'm going to try it, and then I think I'm probably going to change it. So I might do two right off the bat. I might do this one in white. And we'll emboss that. And then I'll make another one in black, because as long as I have the die cutting machine out, I might as well just do it all at once. Because you know me, I'll probably change my mind. I never plan. My videos are just chaos. Okay, so I'm going to emboss that. Oh, that looks nice. That looks so crisp. Boy. You know I'm going to want to use it. But let's do a black one just in case. Let me find another little white piece of cardstock. I don't need a big piece. Do I have any pieces? Yeah, this one will work here. Okay. Is this going to make it though? No. So let's just move it over. We'll put it right here. I know I didn't even clean it, right? It's sticking to me. So I'll pick that up. It's all right, I'll just flip it around. And then I'm going to use black ink. So, oh, that's not black. That's embossing ink. Let me find my black ink pad. Here we go. Might have to do a few layers because it's going to have a little embossing ink on it. Looks pretty good. Okay, so we'll put that aside too. Now, I think we've got most of our embossing done for this technique that I want to do. So now I'm going to clean this stamp. I do have to clean this stamp. Fruit salad inks. Yeah, that is a good idea, Tom. People are liking your fruit salad idea.
So you missed this comment. Let me get it back up there.
What comment? Tom is on something with fruit salad ink, onto something. You could name them Merlot, Rosé, Blush, Muscat. Yeah, I love it. Okay, I love that. Alrighty, now what we're gonna do next is we are going to do some inking. So, I think the carnations are going to be the ticket for this card, and I already talked about the fact that we're going to do a monochromatic kind of thing. I see Mindy Egan here too. Mindy makes great videos too. Okay, I'm starting with the light carnation, and I'm going to ink this up a little bit, and then I'm going to start kind of in the middle of the design over here on this side. Okay. And then I'm going to work my way down the design and up the design. And then as I get to the edge, I'm going to go a little lighter handed. Just as I get to the edge, a little lighter handed. Not super light handed because I want to see all of the white. Let's see if I can zoom in just a little bit. But isn't this color beautiful? It's such a beautiful color. So we're going to the edge, just where the design is. Now, I know that it might be hard for you guys to see the design, and you might be thinking, well, how do I know where the design ends? You will totally be able to see the design in real life. Totally able to. A little bit more, but I just want it to mist out at the edges. We can go a little heavier in this area. Okay. Now hey, Megan Andrew. Megan makes great videos too. I have so many people here that are YouTubers too. All right, great designers. So now I'm doing the same thing on the other side. Just kind of working the color in, and then kind of just misting as I get to the inside edge. Now, I want to try this in every single color. I really do. I want to try it with the lilacs. I want to try it with powder blue. I definitely think, and I don't use it enough by itself. I always think of the spruces as being specifically for like inking leaves and stuff and layering stencils. But that's a gorgeous color just to make a monochromatic card out of. Okay, so you can see how that looks. Isn't that an elegant design? It's different than the holiday tapestry. It's different than the flowing florals. It's more dense, so you get more of that pattern. And I just think it looks so pretty. I actually took my glasses off and I can see better. I got stronger readers, and now I've got to be closer to everything. Okay, a little bit more on here, because we really want this to show up. Okay, now I'm going to get a piece of paper towel here, and I'm just going to gently rub over the surface. And you can see it does pick up some of that pink, because that pink will rest on top of that embossing powder. All right, so that's that. Now let's just put that aside for now. And let's go ahead and ink up this butterfly. We're going to do it kind of the same way. But we're going to enhance it a little bit with the medium and the dark carnation. Well, I'm assuming I'm going to do that, but that's what my thought process is. We'll see what actually plays out. But I'm going to start right in the center. Right, so we'll go a little heavier in the center. You can start to see the butterfly emerging. Go heavy in the center. And then kind of get misty toward the edges, but we still want to see the whole thing. So this is where, like, you just kind of have to practice a little bit with ink blending. And most of the time when we're ink blending, we talk about not starting in the middle of your paper, starting off the edge and bringing it, you know, toward the center of the cardstock. But for this kind of thing, you want to start in the middle because you want your heaviest color to be on the inside. And then you want it to be very misty along the outside because you're not going all the way to the edge. You want a lot of white space. So I hope that that makes sense for those of you that are newer to ink blending. So you can see I'm trying to keep it as even as possible. So I'm always starting more in the center and then working that brush out. But I think that's looking pretty good. Now we could do a couple different things here. You could use a colored pencil to color in the butterfly and add and enhance the color on the inside. But I'm going to use our detail blending brushes, and I'm going to just add a little bit of color. I'm also going to go down here and just blend over the words here with love. Again, I'm not sure that I'm going to use this because I feel like it's almost too light.
Okay, Ruth wants to know, what's your trick for not getting a blob of ink on the card when you start blending?
So I think in this case, I'm like did you see that? Like I'm almost like, okay, so just let me look in the camera for a second. So you know how when you have a little dog and you start to put them in a bathtub or you start to put them in water, and before they even get there, the little feet start going? That's the way I am with a blending brush. I start moving that brush before I even touch the paper. So I'm already kind of going in a circular motion, and by the time the bristles touch, I'm moving already. So you always want to be moving with a blending brush, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. But that's what I think of. I think of, you know, the little movement of my little Pomeranian. Okay, so let's clean that up to brighten it just to see how it looks. And that looks pretty good, but now we're going to add a little bit more color on there. So the next color we're going to do is a little bit of medium carnation, and we're going to use a small blending brush for this. Okay. So again, I'm going to start like I'm moving right away as soon as I get in here. All right.
Okay, so Jan wants to know what would you do for it to be a wedding card? Like what color?
Oh, I think that you could do just about any color. This would totally work for a wedding card. What I like to do, and a lot of times when you get a wedding invitation, the wedding invitation is in the colors of the wedding, right? So, or you could just ask, like, what colors are your wedding? Are they, are the bridesmaids wearing blue or peach, or what are they wearing? And then maybe make the card to coordinate with the wedding colors. Okay, so now we've deepened that a little bit. I'm going to also deepen this with love a little bit. And I'm going to wipe away the excess. And then I'm going to go one shade darker with Dark Carnation. And I'm going to go right in the center of that butterfly. Don't give up on ink blending. Please don't give up on ink blending. I've been ink blending for so many years. Instead of deciding that you're going to make a card, decide to just ink blend. That is, give yourself a break. Get out there and emboss some things and just practice and just go down a piece of paper with some masking paper over it, like with an oval cutout, and peel it away. And then walk away, because if you're using Gina K Designs ink, there is a smoothing agent in this ink. And I'm telling you, if you walk away and you come back, you're going to look at it and go, wait, did I blend it that smoothly? It will smooth out quite a bit. So please don't give up. Just don't give up. This is supposed to be fun, and just keep going. You're going to get it. All right, so I'm using one of these detail blending brushes. And then I'm going to go just right in the center here with this real dark color, just to really enhance the center of this butterfly. And then once again, I'm just wiping away the excess, and you see how white that butterfly got again. But I've got 3 shades of carnation on there. Let's see if we can enhance this a little bit. I'm still not sold on this, but we're going to cut them, and we'll make our decision. I feel like when you're using black outlines that you just need that little pop of black somewhere on the middle of the card too, and I feel like my greeting might look a little better. And I'll just give you an example. Here's a card that I made a while back, and you see how it's all very soft, but that pop of black with that Happy Easter just makes the difference. So I feel like with this, we're going to want that pop of black. But I had to do it. Okay, so now let's get the die cutting machine, and we're going to do some die cutting here. So we're going to definitely need... Oh, that's really close. Sorry, guys. It's so close. Welcome, welcome, everyone. We see lots of you here. Remember, we are triple streaming, actually quadruple streaming tonight. Let me get a drink of my water. We're quadruple streaming. Facebook group, Facebook page, YouTube, and Twitch. So we've got lots of people here because they're coming in from all over.
And Karen made a huge mistake.
What happened, Karen?
She said she was trying to multicolor her background ink and got a dark color on her light carnation ink pad. Is it ruined forever?
No. No. Boo, it's not ruined forever. So I would turn that ink pad. I definitely would pick up a re-inker for it. And I would just turn the ink pad upside down and just squish out as much of that darker color as you possibly can. And then once the paper towel stops looking like that color, then I would re-ink it with the lighter color. And just see how that goes, okay? Especially if you're doing a lot of ink blending, because you can ink blend around that spot, and over time that will spread out a little bit and it will start to dissipate. Now, did she say that she put the wrong re-inker on it, or she just put her blending brush on there? Tom?
Hold on. It's like 29 pages gone by.
Sorry.
I was trying to multicolor background and I got a
dark ink color on my light carnation. So if it's just a little blip of it, yeah, I would definitely try just blotting up as much of it as you can and then using a re-inker. I've done that too. You know, sometimes it's a full casualty and other times it's not that big of a deal. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to create a kind of a cool layered look here. And I'm going to use Master Layouts 2, and I am going to cut this out. But I want to make sure that it is centered. So that looks pretty centered to me. All right. And then I want to tape all of this down really well. I'm using Masking Magic because it's not going to tear the paper at all. Okay. And then, that looks pretty good. I'm going to cut this out. Hope that it stays in place. Oh, good. Jen, did she love it? I hope she loved it as much as we do. And I hope she loves it as much as you do. I hope you get a chance to play with it. All right. So now we've got a frame. And we've got a panel cut out of Master Layouts 2. All right. And we're going to keep these together. We're going to be using both of these. But we are going to use our little pop of black. So we're going to do Master Layouts to the plain rectangle. And then, do I have any black cardstock? I do. And I'm going to cut one of these out. Let's see how this looks. I'm telling you, you know, I'm cutting a big die. Here's my other hand. I'm not really holding on. As long as you have that pressure set not too tight, because you don't need it super tight. Oh, did I go off because I wasn't paying attention? I think I made it though. Look at that. I think I made it. That looks good. I think I did it. But you could see that I didn't need a whole lot of pressure to crank the handle. And that's going to go like that. Okay.
Looks like one of your parking jobs.
Oh boy, where are my people? Go after them. Didn't that happen last time, Tom? Didn't you get in trouble?
It's coming.
It's coming. You feel it? So then I'm going to use those circles from Master Layout 7. And I'm going to cut both of my greetings because, like I said, I don't know which one I want to use. But I'm going to cut it like that so that the greeting is right down at the bottom of the circle. You getting in trouble, Tom?
Oh, yeah.
Tom, that was mean. I know he's kidding. All right, so I'm going to cut
She
that.
knows I'm kidding because I park just as bad.
I have to tell you, the best thing that I ever got, the kind of car that I drive, is a Nissan Rogue. And I love my little Rogue. And the reason why I love it is because it's got a back camera that also looks at you overhead, and it helps me park better. So, I like it.
Better than horrible.
Better than horrible. Now I'm going to cut the black one the same way. Oh my gosh, your comments are cracking me up, everybody. All right, we're going to cut the With Love out here. I'm cutting it at the bottom of the circle again. I think I'm going to go with the black one. I know some of you are going to really like the pink one, though. And I think I told you this before. I drive home worried that I'll be disappointing the pink people because I went with the black one. But we'll see. You never know. I may have a last-minute change of heart. Okay, so I cut that one out. And I like this because it has the stitches and it kind of coordinates with this that has stitches. Now I'm going to take the plain circle that coordinates with that one from the same die set, the Master Layouts 7. That's the mini slimline set. So, you know, if you're looking for a Master Layouts set to increase your collection, it's a good one to have because you can do those mini slimline cards, which I love. Okay, Let's cut 2 black. Well, we're just going to cut 1 black one. We only need 1 black one because I'm going to pick one or the other. So we just need the 1. And you can see that's going to create that tiny little shadow layer on that or on this. I know a lot of you are going to like that, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I think we're going to go with the black. And I think we're just going to leave the butterfly as kind of that main focally image with that extra deep carnation. Okay, and I might fill this in a little bit more, these wings in a little bit more with the darker carnation, just to enhance this. Now that I'm looking at it, I feel like it needs a little bit more. Doesn't that make a difference on that side? I still have dark carnation on here, on this brush. I might add a little bit more just to fill it in. And then clean that off before I die cut. Okay, so I'm going to use, for the die cutting, I'm going to use my double stitched and single stitched rectangles. Now, I feel like this might be a big die. It might be too big. I don't want to cut off too much of the butterfly itself. This one would work. Maybe I'll use the smaller one this way because I don't want to lose too much of the background either. I think this will work. So let's use the small one. And I'll tape it down so I don't mess it up. But this is the double stitched rectangle. I'm going to cut that one first. Don't move. Kathy. We talked about getting Tom a cot for his office. Tonight might be the night. And then I am going to cut a black panel. Yeah, I think this is good. That's like just the right size. And it's not going to take up like too much of this. You're still going to get to see that pretty outline. And then I'm going to cut a plain one. So these were designed, these are different sets, the doubles and the singles, and you don't even have to use these at all. You could just cut a rectangle too, but I'm just doing it because I like the stitching. And these were designed to coordinate together where the small one in this set, this one makes the shadow layer if you use them together. You can use them both singly and have a single stitch or a double, but if you use them together, the single stitched one becomes the shadow layer. Kathy, that's funny. So let's get one more piece of black cardstock. And Tom, while I do that, maybe now would be a great time for a word of the day. What do you think?
You think?
you have to redeem yourself somehow.
You sure? Okay, so we've got a phrase of the day, actually.
Oh, a phrase.
Very empowering, personally empowering phrase. And that is, you can just say it to yourself. You're in control.
I like that.
Right? Isn't that powerful?
You're in control.
But don't you think,
Oh, no.
on the other hand, this would be the most awesome business name for a puppy housebreaking and cleanup service? Right? You're in control.
How would you spell that?
Phrase of the day.
Oh my gosh. You're in control.
Back to the dead space.
Okay, you've redeemed yourself. You have redeemed yourself. So I'm going to cut 2 different card bases here. Right off the bat, I'm going to cut one in white, and I'm going to cut one in innocent pink, because I think that would be very pretty with this, and we can decide together. You know, I noticed that YouTube, I think, has the ability to put up a poll, but because we're quadruple streaming, we can only do that on YouTube. So I'm going to cut these, I'm going to score these 2 card bases at 4 1/4, so we have 2 options. Oh my goodness. That's great, Tom. See, you should think up business names for people. That could be a second career. Marketing guy. Oh my goodness. Okay. Now we're going to do a little bit of assembly, and I am going to... Ooh, you know what though? Okay. I don't really need a full card base, so we're going to go with white because this is going to be... We're not doing an outside. This is going to be the outside. Isn't that pretty? Gosh, that would be just such a pretty frame too, to put a photograph in it. All right, let's attach this one. See, I'm not even thinking because I don't know. I'm doing everything off the top of my head here, and sometimes the top of my head it's not the best place to be. All right, so I'm just putting a little bit of tape all around the outside of this. And I definitely want to go all the way around the outside because all of that embossing did make it a little bit warpy. So we want to make sure that it lays down nice and flat. And we're going to use this white card base. And we're going to adhere this to the front of this card. Now I'm going to do it upside down here like this. Let's see if I can get it straight on there. Nope. No, I can't. So I'm going to go with plan B, which is to just try to finagle it. And I guess plan B is the plan. I'm not putting a lot of pressure down until I know that it's right and it's not, you know, pulling or anything. Because we can always trim this card base down a little bit. I told you guys, I always get like the weird stuff to use in my studio, so I'm gonna just trim this down a little bit. They give you guys all the good stuff, and when something comes damaged or it comes, you know, the large sheets come a little bit off from the mill, those are the ones that I take because I don't like to waste cardstock, and it's totally fine for me because I'm just making these cards on camera.
Yeah, I was a little bit off from the mill.
You were. Okay, you definitely were. Alrighty. So, I think we could do it the other way that I talked about. I put a little crease in that, so we'll keep the crease at the bottom. There we go. Okay. That's the way it should go down, like that. Okay, now we're going to adhere these two pieces together. I'm really taking my time tonight. It's kind of nice. Sometimes I have so many things to show you that I feel like I have to rush the card, and this one is nice that I don't have to. I still have stuff to share, but it's not quite as, doesn't feel as panicky. Alrighty, let's get that centered. And now it doesn't really matter which side you put this on because this is going to fit no matter what. And you see how there's a continuation of the design. The design doesn't break up because we cut this out of the center. So it's not like this is different than this. It's just a nice continuation. However, we are going to pop this up with some foam squares to give it some dimension. So let's do that. And you could use the actual, like if you have the shaker strips and you want a little more dimension on here, you could do that and it would sit up even higher. If you don't have our shaker strips, you could double up on the foam squares if you wanted it higher. But I think this is going to be nice. It's just going to be up, you can see just up a little bit. And I think that just gives it a little bit of dimension. It just brings it forward. Oh, thank you guys for your sweet comments. What did I get on that? Okay, nothing. And here's Gina using her fingernails as tools. That's what I do. That's why I'm afraid to do my nails. I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to do anything. Okay, and now I'm going to line this up top and bottom, side to side, with the design underneath. And you can see, like, pick a couple spots. The way to see this, the easiest way, is pick a couple spots. So I picked like right here for the stem, and I picked down here for the stem, and then I just picked over here. Now I'm not perfect over here. I am perfect over here. So that just means that it's shifted slightly, but not enough to see it. And as long as it looks straight, we're good to go. I'm happy with it. Now I'm going to put these two together. All right. Let's do that. You got to have those pops of black, if you're me. I'm also okay with pops of navy, pops of chocolate brown, but black is my favorite, and I didn't line that up very well. Sometimes, if you're struggling to line something up, make sure you've got good contrast. So put a piece of white cardstock under it, under the black, and then you're able to see the perimeter of the black a lot better. The gray of the countertop was just really blending in, and I couldn't see it as well. So now we're going to pop this up, but then we're going to have this little greeting just peeking out from underneath. All right, so we'll do that. There we go. So we need that down there, and then we'll pop this up here like that, and we're going to pop this one up on top. Now, you could also do a side thing if you wanted. That would be really cute too. You could certainly do that. You could turn it, and if you cut this a little bit smaller, like if you hand cut it and didn't use a die, maybe used a square, you could do it in this orientation, but I think it's going to look pretty good this way. And this could actually drape off the edge a little bit too, which would give it some interesting dimension, just a little bit. You know what, when I do die cut stuff, I like to have the die cut pieces flow off the edge. So we could do something like that. It almost looks like a little pull tab. Yeah, I think I'll have it just go a little bit over the edge. This way we keep this down a little bit more. Okay, so now we've got to center it. And I think what we can do is we can put this together first. Let's do that. We'll put this together first. So I'll just get some tape on the back here, and then I will line that up. And it's nice because the word with is nice and straight, so I can line it up with that word with. And that, does that look centered to you guys? I think that looks pretty centered. I think it's better than horrible. Trying to get it like so the butterfly looks centered. Okay, that looks good. And then we can pop this whole thing up with foam squares. And you know, if you're ever worried about something like this coming apart, I don't have any right here. I don't think I do. But there's nothing wrong with just taking a piece of Scotch tape and taping that down. I'll just do it with pixie tape to show you what I mean. But you would never see this on the back, and I don't think I have any here. Let me just look in one more. Let's see if I do. Nope, I don't. But you could always just take a little piece of Scotch tape and just tape that on to just help it stick better. Now that's pixie tape, so that's not going to have that much of an impact, but it's nice. It'll work. And then we can figure out where we want this to go. Like, I love that. That's really pretty. Oh, you should make this card. I want to see you guys make them in different colors and share them in our Facebook group. So I want to tell you about a new thing that I thought of when I saw somebody's card today in our Facebook group. I spend a lot of time looking at the beautiful cards in our Facebook group. I like that. Okay, now I'm going to add a few little black pearls onto this butterfly, because that's what's missing. You don't realize that it's missing, but there's something about the center of this card that doesn't feel finished to me. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab a few of these little black embellishments and I'm going to put those on the center. But I'm going to start something new. Not going to do it all the time, but I'm going to try to do these from time to time. And I thought I would start on Thursday with my first one. So I was in our Facebook group and I was very inspired by somebody's card. So I said, hey, I might have to make that card in a live. It's really pretty. And she was like, oh, that's awesome, yeah. So I think I'm going to start a little series or a little grouping of videos called Inspired By. And then I'm going to show you the card from the person who posted it in our Facebook group. And then I am going to make a card, not the same card, but something about the card that inspired me I'm going to use in my own card. So I'm going to do that starting this Thursday. I'm going to do one. So I hope you guys like that idea. And I want you to know that I am so inspired by everything that you guys share in our group. Can you see how this is making a huge difference? I feel like I want one more. Because, you know, you guys are so kind and you come here to the lives and you share with me that something that I did inspired you, and I love that. But I want you guys to know that you inspire me too. So my first Inspired By video will be this Thursday, crafternoon. Okay, so now I have added those little metallic pearls. They're not metallic though, they're black, but they're from the metallic pearls. And I know a lot of you are asking when they're coming in, and I do believe that they are on their way. Now I could, but it might be overkill, so I'm going to just lay them there to look, because you know you can do that. You don't have to make a commitment with glue. But we could put one on the end of each of the antenna. Now see, I don't like it. Maybe I like it. I don't know. I gotta see it first. There's one, and there's another one. Nope, you see, I feel like that's too much. It's just too much. Right? Let's see. Maybe some of you like it. I don't know. But I feel like it is kind of cool. But nope, I see a lot of nopes. Nope, nope, nope.
Starting to look like a lobster to me.
Okay, all right.
That's just me.
No, I get the lobster. I get the lobster. This is just enough, right? Just enough in there that pulls in that little bit of black. That's right. It looks like eyeballs. Okay, all right. All right, you all win. Okay, well, there is the finished card. Well, I hope you like it, and I hope that it was inspiring to make an elegant card. Now, if you don't like this panel here, you don't have to do this at all. This would be a perfect spot for a little strip sentiment. I think I can disassemble this enough to show you.
What are you doing?
I'm just going to show them.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. But you could, this would be the perfect spot for a little strip sentiment down here if you wanted it to be a little bit more subtle. Actually, guys, I really like that. I really like that. Do you like that? Tell me you like that as much as I do. Tell me you like that as much as I do. I am very inspired by that. I think that's beautiful. And you know what? Okay, hear me out with this card. Okay, I'm going to do this. Hear me out. I feel like a butterfly is a transformation, right? It's a transformation. It was a caterpillar, and now it turned into a beautiful butterfly. Wouldn't this just be the nicest little, what did I do? The nicest little graduation card for a girl? I think it would be so cute. I did something to that. Here's one. I'll do it again. I think this would be a great little graduation card for a girl, or a sweet 16, or, gosh, so many things. And I feel like you could put this right down there, but I just got to position it right. I had to do it. I just thought about it, and you guys know, I never know what I'm going to do until I do it. That makes a difference. That is just all you need. Yes. Yes. Right. If you had a strip saying that said spread your wings and fly, that would be beautiful. Yeah, anything like that. Okay. And I feel like the black really helps bring all the rest of the black together. Do you see me just rip that out with no fear? Go me. All right, Tom. Well, what do you think? What do you think, Tom? You like this one? I know you were sweating it over there when I started ripping it apart.
I do. Well, yeah, I do. I love it. It's when you start just ripping things apart, it's...
Yeah. It's scary, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, goodness. This one isn't cut as straight, so I might go back to this one because this one's cut a little more straight, but I did something up here to it, and I took a chunk out of it. I wonder if I could fix it with a Copic marker. All right, Tom, so I have an idea. I want to give away a gift card.
Okay.
So there we go. I fixed it. I'm going to use this one instead, because this one I cut out better. You know, I'll put it right on top of the other one.
There's a whole history in every card.
There is, and we all are here together. That actually is nice. It gives it a little loft. I like that. Well, maybe I don't like that. I'll fix it later, but that's good. That's good. You guys get the idea, right? There we go. Okay, I'm going to fix it while you find a winner for tonight's gift card. We're going to give away a $15 gift card to Gina K Designs. Doesn't expire because it's an actual gift card, and you can use it whenever you want on whatever you want.
Cheesy drum roll, please. And the winner tonight is Sue Cleaborn. Sue Cleaborn.
Yay, Sue! Congratulations, you're the winner. All you have to do is send your name and email address to info@GinaKDesigns, and we will get that gift card right out to you. All right, everybody. Well, this was so much fun tonight. I'm going to take some high-quality photos of this and share it on my community tab on YouTube and also in our Facebook group and our Facebook page. We want to thank you guys all so much for joining us. Tom and I will be back on Thursday for another Crafternoon Live, and I'm going to be inspired by one of our Facebook group members. If you're not in our Facebook group, we would love to have you join. It's called Gina K Designs and Stamp TV Friends. It's a lot of fun. We share lots of inspiration, tips and tricks, and more. All right, everybody. In the meantime, stay safe and healthy. We love you all so very much, and we'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye.